Hello everybody, this is Bazker. Welcome back to another gaming video, and I think today I'm going to start a new series on Game Dev Tycoon. I have done a quick look at the game and I really liked it myself. Didn't hear a whole lot of feedback on it, but kind of thought, I kind of want to play this game a little bit more, and I kind of thought it'd be fun to go ahead and record it. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. I went ahead and I skipped past all the early dialogue that was at the initial setup. If you want to see any of that kind of stuff, you can go watch the quick link video. I'll put a link in the description, which gives you more of an overview of how the game works. And in this video, we're just going to work this more like a let's play. I'm hoping that you guys can give me some ideas for games and such as we move along. Kind of keep that in mind as you're watching the video. And also, I'm going to try to keep these relatively short. This first video might be a little bit longer just because of the intro here, but I'm going to try to keep these to like maybe 15-minute videos and see how that works. And we'll go from there. So let's get started. So first thing we want to do is name our company, and I think I'm going to stick with my YouTube channel name, Bazker Games. Why not? And why not? Well, player name is Bazker. Let's see, I don't think there's anybody in here with a buzz cut, which is me, so let's just go with that, and, yeah, I don't know, none of these are really my style. That looks good, let's go with that. And on the options side of things, there's a game length. It just controls the flow of how, new technology and such is implemented. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to leave that set to 35 years. And let's go. Unlock hints. We've played this game before. Do you want to use all the previously unlocked hints? Yes, I do. Alright, so here we go. We start in our garage, and it's kind of like the idea behind this is that you are a time traveler. You came back in time. You can kind of see your DeLorean time machine here to kind of take over the video game industry with all your knowledge from the future. At least that's kind of what I got from the initial storyline. So what we want to do is you can click somewhere and you can develop a new game. Doesn't matter where you click. And our game concept. What do we want to call our game? This is very early day games like Pong and such. We call it, let's call it Bong. A pothead lover's game. And we can pick a topic. Pothead pirates? That might make sense. Post-apocalyptic, hunting, and this is like the little hint it was talking about, and that it imported one of them. And it's like, okay, so this might be a good combination. Everyone in mature history. Let's go with pirates. Pick a genre. I think it's gonna have to be I don't know what you would consider Pong. I would call it a sports game. Let's call it let's just call it an action game. You don't actually get to develop the game itself or anything. It's just picking themes along the way, if you haven't seen my first video. And let's see, we got our G64, which is basically your Commodore 64, and you got the first iteration PC down here. And we can see that adventure games and RPG games were really good on this, on the Commodore 64, and I can tell you, you want to look at the cost as well as the market share. So while the PC has a $5K cost, we don't know how it's going to do with some of these other games, and market share, the G64 is doing better. I'm going to go with the G64. Action, I haven't actually tried action on either one, so we'll just leave it there. So there we go, it's going to cost us $25,000, we got 62K, so let's hope we do some good. So, Bong. And let's see, we got we can do text-based or 2D graphics. We're gonna have to do 2K graphics. I mean, we're gonna have to, do something here. I think we want a Pong style game. See, we know they exist. There's a thing back here. Tutorial, generating game reports. Yeah, I know all this. Like I said, if you want to know what all this says and such, just go back to my quick looks video and you can see all that kind of stuff. Here you just kind of want to set up all the levels. How much emphasis do you want to put on each thing? And since there's only one developer right now, then you got to think that he's going to split his time across all of these things. So this is the kind of game that I don't think we're going to want a whole lot of story and quest. It's an action game. We want a lot more gameplay, and let's go ahead and focus a little bit more on the engine. Let's bring the engine down a little bit. So let's do something like this. And we're going to click OK. And you can see there, orange ones are design, red ones are bugs, blue's technology, light blue's technology, and dark blue is research. And you want those things to get in there, and you want to work out all the bugs before you release your game. Research points are what you use to actually improve your engine and that kind of thing. We need no dialogue in this game. Let's just put just a little bit of emphasis on that. Artificial intelligence. Let's raise that up. You can see my tip here from previous gameplays is pretty good. Let's just drag this down just a little bit. So something like that. We want to focus mostly on the artificial intelligence. For being a kind of a cheapy game, it's got some pretty good animation in it and such. It's simple, but it's really kind of cool. I like it. And let's see. I don't think we need to worry about world design at all. In fact, I didn't think we do either. Sound is really good for this kind of game. Graphics are just okay. We'll just kind of leave them middle of the road. So let's do something like that. Kind of tending towards the purple here, it looks like, on all of them. See, he's going in, doing the world design. So we got the pirate action game called Bong. Working out some bugs. The higher the design number, technically the better the game we've made. But as you can see, it really starts to trickle down after a while, and you don't get anything more for it. Another technology point. I'm going to go ahead and finish before he gets another bug in there. We can rename it at this point if we want. So you could have code names for your games. And if I click, it goes ahead and it fills all this in, but you can kind of get a good look here. And we're getting a 1.5 bonus because we chose a new topic in a new combo of game. So that's pretty cool. We can trash it. If we decided that this really sucked, we could click trash and just start over. I do believe you still lose all your cash though, so keep that in mind. So let's release the game. And at this point, what we want to do is, you don't want to probably generate the game report just yet. You want to wait for it to do some cells, but let's go ahead and look at research. We can research a new topic. We could research a new game engine, but it requires 50 research points. We only have 16. They are cumulative, so that's good to keep in mind. We could do vampire, sports, martial arts, or school. There are mods for this game to add more of these kinds of things. I don't have any installed, but it's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. I think... Look, I've never researched school. It just seems like that would be an odd one. But we could make an educational game, I'm assuming is what that would be. Let's stick to our guns here and go with something we're used to doing. Let's do vampire. That's kind of like pirates. Game review. Our first reviews are coming in for our game. Let's see how we did. 6 could have been better. Hey, it's our first game. Oh my. 4 was okay. Action games work well on the G64. That's good to know. Uninspiring. Wow. So this is a relatively terrible score. But that's okay. It should earn us some money, and that's good. Basically, it says that we're a newcomer in the industry. The game received some favorable reviews. It's a good start for Basker Games. Sure to gain fans quickly. That's what we really want in this early stage. We're not looking to create a masterpiece. And still doing a research here. First week we sold 2,241, and we got to number 90 on the charts. What charts? I don't know. Bong was so successful that we now have 15 fans. Sweet, we have a cult following. And you can see it's sitting over here, and it'll keep adding up. You have successfully researched vampire. That's cool. As you can see here, we're still increasing our sales here and everything. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and generate a game report on Bong. Doesn't cost us anything to do it. And as you can see, you get research points for doing that. Pirate and action is an okay combination. Artificial intelligence seems to be very important for this kind of game. So action games need good artificial intelligence. That's good to know. And that's what those little plus sign things were underneath our options when we were looking at them. So there we go. We got 13 research points. We're still selling game, but there's nothing to stop us from starting to research or anything else. We still don't have enough to do a custom game engine, but that's something we want to do. So let's not use up all of our points. Let's do another one. I'm not going to do a sequel. I have no idea if the game engine actually looks at the names of your games and says, oh, he's making a sequel. You know, I mean, because theoretically it could pick up on keywords. In fact, if I was building this game, that's probably what I would do. But I honestly don't know. I've not done a lot of research into the mechanics of this game, so I'm not sure. So I'm not going to do anything that's even similar to the last game. Let's do... well, before we name it, let's look at our topics here. Pirate again, we could vampire, we could do hunting, history, post-apocalyptic. You know, I know that hunting is a decent game choice, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's say it's going to be... let's go with an RPG. And we'll go with the G64 because it's apparently an okay one. And let's call this... So should we make this like a text-based game, maybe? I used to like to play those when I was a kid. Let's call this one the... I don't know how to spell this, but... Is that how you spell dysentery? Dysentery. Okay, let's get out the trusty smartphone here and see what we got here. What do you know? I've got it spelled correctly. Oh no, I don't. I lied. This is an E. So let's call it Dysentery Trail. And it'll end up being a text-based game. Writer's block. Naming games is sometimes difficult, so I guess the time it took me maybe to do that, I think that was a Steam achievement, by the way, not an in-game thing. This game is available on Steam. There will be links for it in the description. And let's go with that text-based game. It's a little cheaper, and we didn't make a ton of money on that last one. We're going to need some stuff for our next big project, so let's go with something simple. Let's go with text-based. So recent market studies suggest that the G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Consumers prefer the low price, greater availability, flexibility, hardware configurations over the other home computers. So for those of you who didn't grow up in the age of home PCs coming about, the Commodore 64 was pretty darn neat if you could have one. That was a pretty darn cool thing. Now, we all know that it didn't last, but it was a really cool system. In fact, it's where I did some of my very first programming when I was a kid. Played in BASIC. Played games like Gorilla. Let's see, gameplay, hold down. This is a text-based game. We're going to want a lot of story and quest. But it's text-based, so I don't think we really need to worry about gameplay. There we go. Bong is still selling. Gained another fan. We lost 8,000, but that's because of this game development. 454 more Bong sales, so that's pretty cool. Dialogue. Yes, we need lots of dialogue. Don't need a whole lot of artificial intelligence, and let's say level design, something of this nature. You can see as you play, I mean, because it doesn't, just because it's all the way at the top doesn't necessarily mean it's taking up all the space. So let's do something like this. And like I said, this is just because of tips based on previous gameplay on how I know that these things are okay. So it's a little bit of a cheat, I guess you'd say, but I know these things kind of already. So Okay, Bong is off the market. It sold 9,700 copies, generating 68,000 in sales. Not too shabby. Alright, here we go. We don't really need world design. It's already kind of set that way. Graphics, I'm going to leave those down. I think sound... You know, everything just kind of middle of the road is probably actually okay. Let's just kind of go with this. Maybe a little bit more world design. I don't know what it's going to consider world design in this kind of game. Of course, as you can see, none of this has anything to do with actually developing anything that looks remotely like a game. It's all just about picking themes and trying to come up with stuff that works well together. And I'm sure there's some randomness to it in there too. Every time the game is generated, there's probably certain fan bases that are generated, if I had to guess, that have certain things they like. According to rumors, the Japanese company Ninvento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. Ninvento is known for the widely successful arcade game Dinky King. So, as you can see, Nintendo is creating Donkey Kong, essentially. Many experts in the industry doubt the home gaming consoles will take off, but we're eager to see what Ninvento will deliver. So you can see, technology is kind of progressing pretty quick in this game. We want to make sure we get all those bugs out, and as long as he's still pumping stuff out, I'm okay with letting him sit for a few. And once he kind of gets to this point, he's probably about done. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and say he's done. Now, over time, he will continue to pump stuff out if you really want to wait. If you want to go grab a sandwich or something like that and come back, you would still have... he'd still be pumping stuff out, but the longer you do that, the longer it takes to work out bugs and things too. So keep that in mind. And you can see my level's going up, and we want to get all these things to level up. And eventually, we get to hire people and move into another office and such. We get to move out of our garage, so that's gonna be kind of cool. So let's release the game. This will be the last game for this episode. Your bank is in the red. Thankfully, your bank has enabled you to overdraw your account up to 50k, but be careful, if your account balance is below 50k, you will go bankrupt. Below minus 50k. I kind of wish my bank would allow me to withdraw over 50k. That'd be kind of nice. Of course, the payback would be a bitch, but yeah. Alright, so let's hope this game does really well. Otherwise, this will be really short Basker Games. We'll have to start another one for the next one. First reviews are coming in for Dysentery Trail. For anybody who doesn't know, that's my Oregon Trail reference. Has its moments. Oh, that's not good. Come on, 7. Oh, could have been better. Come on, give me a good one. RPG games work well, and the G64 is good enough. Come on, big number. Ah, falls a bit short. So, didn't do great, but I think we actually scored a little bit better than our last game, so that's good. And as long as we do as well as we did the last time on cash flow, we should be okay. Gained 61 fans, and we actually sold quite a bit. We've already done better. Dysentery Trail has achieved a company sales record with over 10k units sold, and that's like in the first week, so that's pretty cool. This is an important milestone. Ninvento has confirmed the recent rumors. I'm not going to read all of this, but basically Ninvento is going to release the TES. Let's see. Let's go ahead and generate our game report. Dysentery Trail. I would love it if this game actually takes keywords from your title into account to actually generate different scenarios for you, but I don't think it really does, but it would be great if it did. I mean, this kind of game certainly could do that, but... Okay, our post report. Hunting and RPG is a good combination. Level design seems to be quite important for this type of game. Okay, see, I did not know that. I wouldn't have thought that was the case. Oregon Trail, I wouldn't have said had a lot of level design. But this could also be, when it says text-based game, it may not be talking like story text-based game. It could be talking text-based games, like some of those really, really old ones, where levels and everything were designed with just characters from the keyboard, so like pound signs for walls, plus and minus signs for doors and things like that, where you actually move around in the level. It's very possible that's what it's referring to when it says text-based game. That's not what comes to my mind when I think text-based game, but it could be what they're referring to. They're both text-based games, so considering level design is important for that kind of game, that very well may be the case. So something to keep in mind. But that's what your game reports are for. So you can see we got 34 research points from that, so that is awesome. And I'm going to... Okay, but this will probably be it. I was going to wait for this to happen, but Dysentery Trail is off the market. It sold 19,947 units, generating 139,000 in sales. Almost 140,000 in sales. That is great. That is a great second game. So even with the terrible reviews, we still got a pretty decent game out and about. So I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode here, guys. You do want to... go ahead and click save, just if you haven't. Yeah, so anyways, that's the episode. Let me know if you like it, guys. I'm going to go right into recording another one. I'm going to try to, like I said, keep these really short. This one was probably 20 minutes long. I'm going to try to keep the next one to about 15. And I'll just pump out a few of these, and maybe we'll get a couple episodes out a week. And as you can see, I'm actually losing a little bit of money right here while I'm waiting. So it's probably best to, if you're just sitting around waiting and doing nothing, you probably want to open up your menu so that it doesn't do that. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking now. We'll be right back with another episode. If you like what you're seeing, like, comment, subscribe, feel free to share the video, and I'll see you next time.